What made you want to begin your own conference? What pushed you to say, I need to do this?
I think where the industry was at that time. There wasn't a lot of representation of women of color on stage. I believe that there was talent, but we wasn't seeing the talent. So I think that's what motivated me. It was a scary thing because it was the first conference that was focused on women of color, giving them a platform to share their talents and their ideas and dreams. I think that operating from fear was my motivation for doing it. I just felt like there was a need for change.
Yeah, I think we were ready. I
Yeah.
think you're absolutely right. I think we were ready. I think it was needed. It was time.
It was
But
time.
also your conference, I don't think I was at the first one.
No.
But I was so moved at your conference, like to tears, just how welcomed we were as a brand, getting the opportunity to speak to these young artists that finally felt like they had a platform, that you'd given them a platform, was so inspirational, so moving.
Thank you.
And I'll always remember how that felt.
Right.
You know, that first time that we were at your show, it was really amazing.
Thank you for
Well
that.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, it is like you were saying, a safe space. And we want to, we just try to create that within the industry because sometimes we can feel like strangers to each other, even though we may speak in passing and things like that. And so it's important when you have spaces like that to be intentional about creating the feeling where you're welcome to not only express how you feel, but maybe creating a family within permanent makeup, So we're just mindful of that. I'm very mindful of that.
And having the opportunity to speak to the young artists that were there and for them to connect to the brand, even, it's kind of what motivates me to go to shows.
Yeah, they see beyond the pigment.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they see the people behind it and how hard they work to make sure that the artists are heard.
Yeah.
I think that's really important as well.
Yeah. Well, I always say that Perma Blend is artist driven, right? Because one of the things that's really important to me is to listen to what the artists need. And that's why we're always shifting, we're always changing things up or improving, right? There's always room for improvement. And so it's one of the things that I love about the brand.
Yeah, I love it.
Zuri, what motivated you to want to do your conference?
So with COVID-19, there was a mass influx of artists into the industry. I think we all saw it. It opened up permanent makeup to so many more women of color, where historically it was not a service that we received. The service was so expensive. It just wasn't something that was a top priority for many of us. But with more artists of color, that brought in more clients of color. I first trained in 2018, but around 2021, 2022, I started to see so much work that had healed very poorly. And I began talking about the science of permanent makeup on my own platform and kind of educating it to my own followers. But PMUCon provided an opportunity to expand that platform and to provide that information to a wider audience.